In marriage ends up being a business deal because at the end of a marriage, no matter how long or short it is, somebody owes somebody money.
Long before Goldie Hawn found lasting love with Kurt Russell, she was married to musician Bill Hudson. On the surface, they seemed to have everything: fame, family, and that classic Hollywood image. But behind the scenes, things were far more complicated. One request from Goldie reportedly became a turning point, and Bill eventually decided to walk away. What happened that pushed their relationship to the edge? Before she became America's beloved blonde comedian, Goldie Hawn was a young girl growing up in Tacoma Park, Maryland. Born on November 21, 1945, she came from a family filled with creativity and ambition. Her mother, Laura Steinhoff, ran both a dance school and a jewelry shop, while her father, Edward Rutledge Hawn, worked as a band conductor. Goldie's background blended different cultures and traditions. Her father came from German and English roots, while her mother was Jewish and the daughter of Hungarian immigrants. Though she grew up in a mixed household, Goldie was raised Jewish and later spoke about how culture and identity shaped her more than strict religious practice. There were also painful chapters hidden behind the family's cheerful image. Goldie had a sister, Patty Hawn, and a brother, Edward Jr., who passed away as an infant. The loss was kept quiet for years, leaving a sadness that remained tucked away from public view. From an early age, dance became Goldie's world. She started ballet and tap lessons at just 3 years old. By age 10, she was performing in productions of The Nutcracker with the ballet Russe de Monte Carlo, a huge achievement for a young performer. At Montgomery Blair High School, she balanced schoolwork with endless rehearsals. After briefly attending American University to study drama, she left in 1964 and opened a ballet school of her own. While teaching others, she was still figuring out her own future. That same year, she appeared as Juliet in a Virginia Shakespeare Festival production of Romeo and Juliet. It showed that Goldie wasn't limited to comedy. She had talent, confidence, and a willingness to try almost anything. Her path changed when she performed in Can-Can at the New York World's Fair. Soon she found herself immersed in New York's energetic nightlife scene, working as a go-go dancer in clubs throughout the region. She wasn't chasing celebrity status yet. She simply loved performing and being on stage. In 1966, Goldie headed west to California. She landed work at Melodyland Theater near Disneyland, appearing in musical productions including Pal Joey and How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. Even among large casts, her unique personality stood out. Television soon followed. She appeared on the sitcom Good Morning World in 1967, playing a stereotypical blonde girlfriend role. But Goldie added something special to the character. Her comedic timing was impossible to ignore. Then came Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, the show that changed everything. Goldie became one of television's most recognizable faces. Her giggling, carefree persona made audiences laugh, but there was more going on beneath the surface. She understood exactly how to make the joke work and knew how to control every moment of it. Hollywood quickly took notice. After a small role in the one and only Genuine Original Family Band, her true breakthrough arrived with Cactus Flower. Playing Walter Matthau's fiancée, Goldie delivered a scene-stealing performance that earned her the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. Suddenly, she wasn't just a TV personality anymore. She was an Oscar-winning movie star before turning 25. The success continued with films like There's a Girl in My Soup and Butterflies Are Free. She proved she could bring warmth, humor, and genuine emotion to every role she touched. Following her Oscar win, Goldie's career exploded. There's a Girl in My Soup paired her with Peter Sellers and showcased her remarkable comedic skills. She wasn't simply playing a love interest. She elevated every scene she appeared in. She followed that with Dollar, starring alongside Warren Beatty. Playing a schoolteacher caught up in a bank robbery scheme, Goldie blended charm and intelligence in a way audiences loved. In Butterflies Are Free, released in 1972, she showed an entirely different side. As Jill, a free-spirited young woman who helps a blind neighbor seek independence, Goldie delivered one of her most heartfelt performances. Critics began to realize she could do far more than comedy. By the mid-1970s, she ventured into dramatic roles. In The Girl from Petrovka and The Sugarland Express, she demonstrated impressive emotional depth. The Sugarland Express, directed by a young Steven Spielberg, earned particular praise and showed she could carry serious material just as effectively as lighthearted comedy. Her reputation continued growing with Shampoo, where she appeared alongside Warren Beatty and Julie Christie. The film mixed social commentary, relationships, and political themes, and Goldie fit perfectly into its complex world. Despite her growing movie success, she occasionally returned to television. Specials like Pure Goldie and the Goldie Hawn special allowed her to showcase singing, dancing, and comedy all at once. After stepping back briefly to focus on family life and the birth of her son, Goldie returned with incredible energy. The Goldie Hawn special featured appearances from George Burns, Sean Cassidy, John Ritter, and even the Harlem Globetrotters. It was entertaining, unpredictable, and completely unique. The special earned a Primetime Emmy nomination and reminded audiences why she remained such a beloved performer. Only months later, she returned to theaters with Foul Play in 1978. Starring opposite Chevy Chase, Goldie played librarian Gloria Mundy, who accidentally becomes entangled in a dangerous conspiracy. The film became a major box office success and further cemented her place among Hollywood's biggest stars. Many fans don't realize Goldie also explored music. In 1972, she released a country-inspired album called Goldie with support from Dolly Parton and Buck Owens. While it wasn't a massive commercial breakthrough, it revealed another side of her creativity. Critics later described the album as charming and surprisingly sincere. The 1980s began with another television success. Goldie teamed up with Liza Minnelli for Goldie and Liza Together, a flashy variety special that earned 4 Emmy nominations. These projects allowed Goldie to control her image while showcasing talents beyond acting. As the years went on, she continued taking chances. Some films became major hits, while others received mixed reactions. Bird on a Wire, co-starring Mel Gibson, wasn't loved by critics, but audiences showed up and made it a financial success. The early 1990s brought an interesting mix of projects. She appeared in the thriller Deceived, the drama Crisscross, and eventually one of her most memorable performances in Death Becomes Her. Sharing the screen with Meryl Streep and Bruce Willis, Goldie helped turn the dark comedy into a cult classic packed with vanity, rivalry, and unforgettable moments. By that point, Goldie Hawn had already accomplished something few performers ever achieve. She had evolved from dancer to comedian, from television favorite to Oscar winner, and from lighthearted entertainer to respected actress. Through every twist and turn, she kept audiences guessing, and that's exactly what made her a star. With her bright red hair and sharp comedic timing, Goldie Hawn stole every scene in Death Becomes Her, proving once again why audiences loved her. Then, just as her career seemed unstoppable, she vanished from screens for nearly 4 years. It wasn't because of scandal or career troubles. Her mother was battling cancer, and Goldie chose family over Hollywood. In an industry where disappearing can end careers, her decision stood out. When she returned, she did so behind the camera. In 1995, she produced Something to Talk About, starring Julia Roberts and Dennis Quaid. 2 years later, she made her directorial debut with Hope, a television film starring Christine Lahti and Gina Malone. Goldie was proving she could do far more than act. Still, she couldn't stay away from the spotlight for long. In 1996, she teamed up with Bette Midler and Diane Keaton for The First Wives Club, a massive box office hit. Playing actress Elise Elliott, Goldie delivered one of the funniest and most memorable performances of her career. The film's famous performance of You Don't Own Me became an iconic moment and helped cement the movie's legacy. Goldie continued exploring new creative projects. In 1998, she recorded a version of A Hard Day's Night for George Martin's album In My Life. By the end of the decade, she had established herself as much more than an actress. She was a producer, director, performer, and creative force who continued evolving while staying true to herself. While Goldie became famous for her infectious personality and movie success, her personal life often attracted just as much attention. Before Kurt Russell, her first major love was actor and dancer Gus Triconis. Gus appeared in the classic film West Side Story and had built a respectable career before Goldie became a star. The pair began dating in 1966 and even shared the same birthday, November 21st. When they married in 1969, Goldie's life was changing rapidly. That same year, Cactus Flower earned her an Academy Award and transformed her into one of Hollywood's biggest rising stars. As her fame grew, the balance within the marriage reportedly became harder to maintain. By 1973, the couple had separated. Goldie later admitted she needed time to find herself and move in a different direction. Although separated, neither rushed into divorce. That changed in 1975 when Goldie met musician Bill Hudson during a chance encounter on a flight. The connection was immediate. Their relationship moved quickly, and by the end of the year, Goldie had finalized plans to end her marriage and begin a new chapter with Bill. The divorce process included disagreements over finances, adding tension to an already emotional situation. Still, Goldie later acknowledged how difficult it could be when one partner's career dramatically outpaces the other's. In July 1976, Goldie and Bill married. Together, they had 2 children, Oliver and Kate Hudson, who would later become stars themselves. But the marriage struggled under the pressures of fame, demanding schedules and personal differences. By 1982, the relationship had ended. That same year, Goldie met Kurt Russell while filming Swing Shift. What followed became one of Hollywood's longest and most admired partnerships. Unlike her previous relationships, this one was built on decades of commitment without marriage. Meanwhile, Gus Triconis continued working in television and film, eventually finding stability both professionally and personally. Looking back, Goldie's romantic life reflected many of the same themes that defined her career: growth, change, and resilience. Bill Hudson's story is filled with success, personal struggles, and complicated family dynamics. Born in Portland, Oregon, Bill grew up as the oldest of 3 brothers. His father left when he was young, leaving his mother, Eleanor Salerno, to raise the family alone. Those early experiences would leave a lasting impact on him. As an adult, Bill formed the Hudson brothers with his siblings. The group enjoyed success during the 1970s, producing hit songs, television appearances, and a devoted fan base. Bill quickly emerged as the group's most recognizable member. Despite the success, he often seemed to be searching for something more. Before meeting Goldie, he was linked to several well-known personalities, including Karen Carpenter, Loretta Swit, and Jill St. John. Everything changed when he met Goldie Hawn in 1975. She was one of Hollywood's brightest stars, and their relationship quickly became serious. For a time, Bill appeared to have everything he wanted: a famous wife, a growing family, and a place in the Hollywood spotlight. But celebrity life brought challenges. As Goldie's career continued to soar, tensions reportedly developed within the marriage. By 1982, the relationship was over. Later that year, Bill married actress Cindy Williams. Together, they had 2 children, Emily and Zachary, before divorcing in 2000. Years later, he welcomed another daughter, Lelania. Yet much of the public discussion surrounding Bill eventually focused on family relationships rather than his entertainment career. Oliver and Kate Hudson were largely raised by Goldie and Kurt Russell, whom they affectionately called Pa. That family dynamic would later become one of the most widely discussed chapters of Bill Hudson's life, generating years of headlines, interviews, and public speculation. It also set the stage for an emotional family story that would continue unfolding for decades. To the public, Goldie Hawn, Kurt Russell, and their children looked like the perfect Hollywood family. Red carpet appearances, family photos, and public interviews painted a picture of warmth, laughter, and unity. Meanwhile, Bill Hudson seemed to fade into the background, rarely mentioned and largely absent from the family's public story. Then came Father's Day 2015, and everything changed. Oliver Hudson posted a photo with Bill alongside the caption, "Happy Abandonment Day." The post instantly grabbed headlines and reopened old wounds. After years of remaining mostly quiet, Bill responded publicly, claiming he had been pushed out of his children's lives and unfairly portrayed as an absent father. The situation sparked renewed debate about what had really happened behind closed doors. As with many family disputes, there were different perspectives, different memories, and years of hurt on all sides. Bill had already attempted to tell his side of the story years earlier through his memoir, Two Versions: The Other Side of Fame and Family. In the book, he described feeling misunderstood, isolated, and deeply hurt by the breakdown of family relationships. While reactions to the memoir were mixed, it offered insight into how he viewed the events that shaped his life. By 2018, there were signs that some healing had begun. Oliver revealed during an interview that he and Bill had started communicating again. It wasn't a complete reconciliation, but it was a meaningful step after years of distance. Bill Hudson's story has never been simple. It's a life filled with success, disappointment, family struggles, and attempts to rebuild damaged relationships. For many observers, it remains one of Hollywood's most complicated family stories. Goldie Hawn has often been viewed as the symbol of free-spirited love in Hollywood. Her decades-long relationship with Kurt Russell became proof that a relationship could thrive without marriage. But before Kurt entered her life, Goldie's previous marriages followed a very different path. Her first marriage to Gus Triconis ended as her fame rapidly grew. According to Gus, Goldie's success changed the dynamics of their relationship. As she moved deeper into Hollywood's inner circles and her career reached new heights, the distance between them reportedly grew as well. Their marriage ended quietly, but her relationship with Bill Hudson became far more public. Bill later described falling deeply in love with Goldie and believing they were building a lasting future together. However, he claimed problems appeared early in the marriage. In interviews over the years, Bill shared his perspective on the difficulties they faced, including disagreements about lifestyle, expectations, and the future of the relationship. One of Bill's most discussed claims was that Goldie preferred a much more independent approach to relationships than he did. He portrayed himself as someone seeking a traditional family life, while Goldie valued personal freedom and career ambitions. Goldie rarely discussed the marriage in detail. When she did speak about her past relationships, she often suggested that some partners struggled with her growing success and independence. According to Goldie, being a highly successful woman in Hollywood sometimes created challenges within her marriages. Whatever the exact reasons, the relationship eventually collapsed, leaving both sides with very different interpretations of what went wrong. Looking back, a pattern emerged. Several people close to Goldie suggested that her drive, independence, and unwillingness to fit traditional expectations created tension in relationships. Whether those qualities strengthened or strained a marriage often depended on the person standing beside her. That may help explain why her relationship with Kurt Russell endured. Rather than forcing their partnership into conventional expectations, they created their own rules. As Goldie once explained, marriage itself was never the priority. "Marriage didn't work for either one of us," she said. For her and Kurt, commitment came from choosing each other every day, not from a legal document. Goldie Hawn has never been afraid to speak her mind, even when her opinions sparked debate. One of her most talked about moments came during a 2005 appearance on The View. During a discussion about relationships and fidelity, Goldie offered opinions that surprised both the audience and the hosts. She argued that human behavior is often influenced by biology and suggested that relationships can be more complicated than people like to admit. Her comments triggered strong reactions and quickly became a major topic of discussion. Goldie also revealed that she preferred not to obsess over hypothetical relationship problems, explaining that constantly searching for trouble often creates unnecessary unhappiness. Her relaxed approach to relationships wasn't popular with everyone, but it reflected her long-held philosophy about love and personal freedom. Not surprisingly, critics and supporters quickly took sides. Some praised her honesty, while others strongly disagreed with her views. Beyond relationship debates, Goldie has also spoken openly about difficult experiences from her early career. During discussions connected to the Time's Up movement, she shared that she faced inappropriate behavior while working as a young dancer in New York. Rather than allowing those experiences to define her, Goldie credited her confidence, resilience, and strong family support for helping her navigate difficult situations. She emphasized the importance of knowing your worth and refusing to compromise personal boundaries. She also criticized abuses of power within the entertainment industry, arguing that some people in influential positions believed the rules did not apply to them. Her comments echoed concerns that many others in Hollywood would later express publicly. Her daughter, Kate Hudson, has voiced similar support for people who come forward with difficult experiences, emphasizing the importance of listening and offering support instead of judgment. Then came another unexpected headline in 2025. While presenting the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature alongside Andrew Garfield, Goldie briefly stopped during the live broadcast and admitted she was struggling to read the teleprompter. Turning to Garfield, she joked, "Okay, sweetheart, can you read that? I can't read that." She then revealed the reason: cataracts. The moment quickly spread across social media and entertainment news outlets. Although Goldie tried to handle the situation with humor, many viewers focused on her health rather than the presentation itself. Andrew Garfield stepped in smoothly and helped continue the segment, earning praise for his kindness and professionalism. But what happened next became the real emotional highlight of the evening. Garfield shared a heartfelt message about his late mother and how much Goldie's work had meant to her over the years. "You made her laugh when she didn't think she could," he told her. The comment visibly touched Goldie. For a moment, the conversation shifted away from health concerns, controversy, and headlines. It became something far more personal. After decades in Hollywood, Goldie Hawn has experienced enormous success, public criticism, personal heartbreak, and countless reinventions. Yet moments like that remind people why audiences connected with her in the first place. Not because of the scandals, the headlines, or the controversies. Because for generations of fans, Goldie Hawn brought joy, laughter, and a little bit of light when they needed it most. What do you think was the biggest turning point in Goldie Hawn's life? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.